Definitely, obviously, you've been in this situation before, even last year, down 0-2, went back home and even the series. But when the game unfolds like it did tonight with the turnovers and losing composure a little bit, how do you guys respond to that?
We just got to regroup. We have 2 days to think about it, 2 days to sit with it. We've showed that in spots this season, and it's something that we need to correct and correct urgently.
Is it, as the game is going, I know obviously having those conversations with the official, I know what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, this is how I'm seeing the game. But at what point is it like, all right, maybe I need to back off, or maybe you lose it in terms of having those conversations with the ref?
Which one are you talking about?
Well, particularly it was one where you thought that you got bumped on the side, and then you thought that should have been a foul, and then they called it for a turnover. I thought that might have been the beginning of maybe your frustration really starting to get to you a little bit. I could be wrong, but
yeah, you are.
Okay.
My frustration is just within the team. We need to execute. We play well when we're playing well, and then we need to stick together once things turn bad. And like I said, we've done that throughout the season, so it's something that has to be corrected.
And Kevin, when you said before about keeping composure, thought that would be big that's big in the playoff series. How would you assess you guys not being able to do that when they got to the point where they were extending the lead a little bit in the second half?
Sorry, say that one more time.
When the second half, when they started extending the lead and looked like composure was being lost a little bit, how do you assess that part of the game?
Yeah, they went on a run. I mean, we was trying to figure it out. More than anything, they just played great ball, and we trying our best to get out of those little slumps when we go on a 7-8-0 run. And I think we still try to put ourselves in position to win there. We cut it like 13, like 12, but we just couldn't get over that hump. So this team's been killing us in the third with those runs, so we got to figure that out.
The only thing I have for you is, what are they doing defensively to maybe get you guys out of your sets? Brad was saying that not getting into the offense fast enough. Is that part of it? Okay.
We definitely could play a little bit more faster and simplify a little bit more and get out of transition, but that comes with getting stops. But yeah, we can always do things faster.
Look, when you look at the points off turnovers, I think it was 31-2. What stands out to you about how that number got that big?
Is that like a backsided question?
I'm just trying to ask, like, how did the discrepancy get that big in your mind? Like, what led to
How did they
that?
score off turnovers, or how did I turn the ball over?
Both, either one.
I mean, the turnovers are turnover, and then they ran out and scored. They had numbers, and it's obviously something that I need to be better with.
Kev, when you look at the offensive process in the third quarter, what do you feel kind of got away from you guys on that front?
A little stagnant. I think we also got some good looks that we couldn't hit, and on the other side, they stretched us out. With the trap and the pick and roll, and now you got guys going downhill off a closeout, and it's tough to stop. I think that's what that's what their offense does. They, you trap Ant, you trap Conley, we stretch out, get guys going on the other side. So that was tough. It was just a tough stretch for us there, and it's been happening in the third, so we got to figure that out.
Devin, I was just going to piggyback off that. What does it take when the crowd's against you, team's going on the other run, you're not getting close calls? How does the team battle through that adversity? What does it take to get through that?
Just communication. Talk to each other. That's when you have to be as close as ever in a hostile environment on the road. Just talk your way through it. Hold each other accountable. Have them honest conversations, and understand it's for the best of the team.
Has this been something you guys have been dealing with throughout the course of the season?
Yeah.
Amanda?
I'm sorry.
This is for both you guys. You mentioned that hostile environment. The series now shifts back home. You have that support. What's your message to Suns fans?
Don't count us out. It's a series for a reason. I don't think any road team's won so far. You know, I know that doesn't have anything to do with us, but you know, it's just a situation that it is.
Kevin?
I mean, they can't give up on us right now. Shit, we need them more than anything. I know it's been disappointing last couple games, even the season, been too, you know, for our fans. But we need you more than ever now. Coming back home for Game 3.
This is for both of you. Statistically speaking, teams that go down 0-2 in a series usually only win the series about 8% of the time. I'm curious, what do you think is different about this team that will enable you guys to do the opposite and hopefully win this series overall?
Man, you take a possession at a time, man. I'm not trying to think like that. We got the next game ahead of us. We got to focus on every possession. You know what I'm saying? So we'll take it possession at a time.
Book, to your point on these moments coming in the season when the stability seems to fall off, in your experience, what is that stability? Like, what comes from it? What is the team missing to have that?
Communication.
Can you just expand on the communication part specifically? Just what that entails? Who's talking? Where
just talking to each other, holding each other accountable. You know, I've been saying it. You know, we're all trying to fight out there, and you know, so far in this series, once it's turned to shit, you know, we've kind of separated instead of being together. So, and that's everybody top to bottom. Something we got to figure out.
The only other thing I had was if you guys would looked at the stat sheet and saw Towns only had 12 points and had shot 3 for 12, defensively you would take that. But when you see McDaniels 25, how much of that is just like, you know, this is part of a series where they made the adjustment and got him looks in that sense?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, we respect them, but they got players that shift the defense, and he did a great job tonight just driving closeouts. You know, it's a long closeout when you come from the other side of the floor, and then that got him going making threes too. He's a long athletic player, so even if you're in front of him too, sometimes he's still gonna make a shot. So it's a great game by him tonight, and not just him. They got Rudy Gobert with 18, Conley with 18. That's made up for Cat and
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.